Hello, singing friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Mickey here, your friendly neighborhood singing coach. Today I'm going to be doing another reaction to the band The Gathering, and this is for their song Strange Machines, and it's a lyric video. So Mike writes, this song features Anneke van Giersbergen's clever lyrics about her fantasy of building a time machine. This song is considered an early foundational classic among symphonic metal fans. The sound effects during the middle breakdown section are from the 1960s movie The Time Machine, which is based on a classic science fiction novel by H.G. Wells. Okay, I definitely remember that movie and that book. Isn't that the one where they have like the mole people and like, what are they called? Like the Eloys, and they're like the people that live above ground. Anyway, I do like science fiction a lot. All right, so let's jump right into it and check it out. I'm excited to hear it after my first exposure to The Gathering last week. So here we go. I'm just gonna stop it there for a moment because there's so much stuff that I don't want to miss anything. So I really like the music so far. I really like the, bless you. I've got 2 sick kids at home with norovirus right now. I really like how there's like a bell that hits, you know, on the drums, on some of the beats, you know. I really like the guitar. I like how like simple it sounds, because it's like not a bunch of notes, you know, it's like one strong melodic line. It has a lot of power. It's not like super distorted, so you can actually hear the melody. And one thing that I noticed about this song that stands in contrast to the Leaves that I listened to last time was that melody was very restricted in its compositional range. You know, it was a lot of the same note. It was almost like a pedal point that kept coming back to this same note over and over again. This one has very big interval jumps in the vocal, which if you've ever tried to sing a song with a big range and a lot of interval jumps, you know that's very difficult to do. When the melody is within a small range, it's much easier to sing. When it jumps all over the place and goes very, very high and very, very low, it becomes much more difficult because you have to traverse all the different parts of your range, your head voice and your chest voice and your mixed voice, and you have to cross your bridge. So it makes the whole undertaking much more difficult, right? So she's got the da 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 da, goes very, very high, very, very low, and it's very, very powerful. Also, there's a lot of stuff happening in the accompaniment, in the chord progression. So there's much more like action happening than in the last song that I listened to, although I did really like the last song as well, because it was almost like hypnotic and like dirgy in the way that it was repetitious with the melody. But this is a lot more variation, which I think is very cool. Building a machine that will a lot of ornamentation there, right? So rather than what I wanted to do, she has a lot of oh that adds to the melody and makes it a little bit more complex. The other thing that I wanted to add is just lyrically, and we'll get into it, we'll go over the lyrics at the end, but it's just so much more interesting and inventive, and there's so much more there in terms of a narrative than a lot of songs that I hear, which are just like vaguely about feelings and like aren't really very specific. There's like a lot here to dig your teeth into if you're into lyrics as I am. Very cool. Like this instrumental break. I like the beat. There definitely is this like sense of forward motion, you know, it almost feels like you're like riding a horse or something. So you can imagine like you're in a time machine and you're moving, right? You're moving through time and space.
My clouds singing wide and to raise the new day.
So I like the sounds and the percussion. They're a little bit more interesting than what you normally expect in a metal song. I also just really think that the lyrics are quite smart, you know, and of course, if you had a time machine, you would want to go and observe all of these like milestones in human history. I also like that she said, watch Jesus rise if he did, right? Because that's a little edgy, because it's like you're kind of questioning the Christian narrative and saying, well, you know, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, the way it was described, and I want to see it with my own eyes. So I think it's very inventive and very intelligent. I really like the lyrics. Very cool. So I like it a lot. Let's read the lyrics because I just want to do a little bit of a deeper dive. It sounded very interesting, but it's hard for me to like focus on just the lyrics when I'm listening to everything. So it says, it has always been in the back of my mind, dreaming about going to the corners of time. I always wanted to fly in strange machines. I like that line. I want to do centuries in a lifetime and feel it with my hands. Like really like experience history, like touch it and feel it, touch the World War II and Cleopatra flying. Could it be that my dream would come true, building a machine that would actually do what I want it to do? Russian Revolution, let's do that in one day. Beethoven and Gershwin, I think that would be okay. More than anything, I want to fly in strange machines. I want to do centuries in a lifetime and see it with my eyes. Watch Jesus rise, if he ever did, flying. I want to do centuries in a lifetime and feel it with my hands. Touch the Renaissance and Shaka Khan, flying. Very cool. So, I do sometimes think about this and like, what would you want to witness if you had a time machine, or what would you want to just like use it for your own personal reasons and change your own life, right? Of course, you have to think about all the complications of time travel, and many movies and books have discussed that, like what happens if you encounter yourself or you cause some kind of butterfly effect that stops you from being born, right? But more than that, there's no guarantee that you would be able to observe the events that you want to without getting injured, or that you would have the access that you imagine that you would have, right? If you go back to a battle, you might be killed in the first instance, I would love to go back and observe the great masters painting or the great composers composing, but you would have to establish relationships with them, or also have additional powers like being invisible and having mind control or something, right? So it's a little bit more complicated than it makes it seem in this song. But if you could go back in time and just observe and be a fly on the wall somehow, it would be interesting to know like how different are things, since history is obviously written by the victors and there are so many different points of view on everything. It would be amazing to go back to the Big Bang, right? But obviously you would need to be able to survive in space and whatever other conditions there are. So you really need, like my friend says, you need to have a Godoogle, which is like the God version of Google, so that you can like be outside of everything and like be able to observe everything and know everything. But of course there's no such thing, and there's no such thing as time machines. Time is an interesting thing, It's a one-way ticket and it breaks your heart. Anyways, very interesting song. It definitely got me thinking, which art is meant to do. It's definitely a sign of a good piece of art. So I enjoyed it. Thank you for the recommendation, Mike. And I hope you enjoyed my reaction. I'll see you guys here next time. Until then, take care. And of course, happy singing. And let me know if you like my Valentine's Day. It looks very wide on the top because of the shoulder pads. But I like it. I love velvet and I love red, so I'm enjoying it. All right, bye for now.